Hello, my beautiful divine souls. It's time for an energy update. We're going to talk about May. Tomorrow is the 1st of May, and I am so happy because this month is going to be different. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be brilliant. And many of us are really, truly going to jump into that 5th dimensional ascension timeline. Those who are new, thank you so much. Why don't you subscribe to my channel, see how you like it. Love all of you divine seekers who have been with me for a while. You are divine. Okay, so let's get right into it. The last few months have been really difficult. Every month I was thinking, when is the purging over? When is the clearing over? When is the karma finally going to be released more completely? And then every month there was more to be released. So the ascension process that is happening can only happen when we are able to reach a higher vibration. We all know that. And in order to reach a higher vibration, we have to look at our shadow side. We have to look at the denser parts of us, and we have to work through them and release them, because a high vibration is light filled, is vibrating at a higher and lighter level. And when you have these very dark, these dense energies working in you, when you have a lot of your shadow coming up and working through you, it's not possible to move to those higher vibrational states. That's why self-care, clearing yourself, healing, all those things are so important, and we've been doing a lot of that. A lot. You've watched some of my last videos, some of the April updates, and horrific, really, really dark shadows that were part of me that I didn't know were there. I looked at those, I recognized them, I cleared them, and I can tell you I am feeling so much better. Already I feel so light, and I feel ready to really, up it up a notch, up it up, to really move up into those ascension timelines. And the interesting thing is this. A lot of people ask, what if I miss the ascension? Are we all ascending together? Are we all doing this at the same pace? And I have to tell you something that is really important to know. And there's a little story I have to tell you that has to do with this. I took the Easter weekend off. You may have noticed I didn't upload as many videos. I was on Salt Spring Island, which is an island off where I live. I live on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, West Coast Canada, right? And there are smaller islands. And I feel that Salt Spring Island, that is an island where every time I step onto the land of the island, I feel different. It's like, it's magical. Do you know places like that that seem to be as though you're stepping into a fairy tale, that seem to be as though you're stepping into a different time, place, density, vibration, into a different dimension completely? Salt Spring is a place like that. And I have a sister there. You know who you are. I'm talking about you. And I spent a weekend with her. And I experienced really closely and really, like, in a real way, I experienced people living together on one piece of land, but living in completely different timelines and living in different dimensions, okay? So this is my family, and one of my family members, my sister, in the last year has gone through her ascension process. She truly has. So how she is living life and how she's perceiving life and how she's living in complete bliss and magic, and the way she experiences life, the level she's gotten to is completely different than all the other people there. And so I was seeing, like, there's a discrepancy, and it's like it's the same physical place, but there are actually people living in different dimensions, and they perceive reality completely in a different way. And that whole weekend made me realize what the ascension process is, and how every single human being on this planet experiences it in a completely different way. So the different densities We're now in the third density, or the third dimension, so to say. Okay, let's not get confused. Let's talk about dimensions. We know this is the third dimension. And in the ascension process, we're moving into the fifth dimension, right? And this process is a process of vibrational matching. Mother Gaia, our Earth, is also moving into the fifth dimension. And the interesting thing is that each person, as you and I, as we raise our vibration, as we do our spiritual work, as we heal, as we get rid of all our karma, we are raising our vibration and we are moving. We're in this process, we're in this flow of ascension, and we're moving up. And at some point, we will actually be in a different density, in a different dimension, at a different vibrational level than we were before. And every person, as they go through their journey, does this at a different time, at a different rate. But we're still in the same physical place, like right here on the earth. We're in the same place, but each person is going through their ascension process at a different time. And I feel that some places on earth, on our Mother Gaia, are also ascending at different speeds. And that island, that beautiful island there, when I go there, somehow I feel as though I'm stepping into a different timeline. I'm stepping into a different space. Like the density is different. Everything there seems to be magical and light, and somehow the reality is different. And it came to me that that is an example of the ascension process, of us moving into a different, slightly different vibration. And with the people of my family, right, my family on that piece of land, how one person is already totally in the fifth dimension, totally in bliss and peace and instant manifestation, and seeing the situation so differently than the other people are seeing the same situation in the same place, made me realize that you will ascend at your own pace, but you will share the space with someone who maybe has not ascended. And the people who have not ascended are not going to understand, they're not going to see, they're going to live in the same space, and they're going to see the same reality in a completely different way. And if you have ascended and are living in the same physical space, you are going to see reality and perceive reality in a totally different way. So that's how we can share the same planet, but be in different dimensions and live in different dimensions. And that's right now. This is the times that we're going through. So that's why you can live in the same country. Let's say you live in the United States, and a lot of people are living in stress and strife and fear and lack. Your neighbor may be like that. You may live in prosperity and abundance and joy. Your neighbor may be feeling, the economy or the political situation that is really like wreaking havoc in his life, and you may be, what? But it's not affecting me. For me, it's good. So that's the secret to the ascension process, that we are living in the same world, but we are slowly moving through the different densities, the different dimensions. We are living in different vibrational realities. And you can see that as timelines as well. If you've been living on this timeline, the third dimensional timeline, right? This timeline, moving forward, if you didn't change a thing, you just keep living in this timeline. But if you, oh, by the way, look, we have a little visitor. Sorry, we have a visitor. Leo, are you going to come with me into the fifth? Huh? Are you? He's coming with me. I'm taking him. You want to be in the video a little bit? Look at him. Right? You want to be here? Okay, let's. Oh, when he was a baby, he used to always sit here, and he used to like it a lot. There. So, are you going to stay here for a bit? Yeah. Anyways. He's discovered the microphone. He's eating it now. Anyways, that's the secret. That is the secret of the ascension process. You will not be left behind. You are just going to go on then, ascend at your own pace. And even if it takes you 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you cannot be left behind. You always have the opportunity to jump on that timeline. So I feel that Mother Earth right now is splitting her timeline. Her timeline, the third. And there's another timeline where she's raising into the fifth. And we who are attuned to Mother Earth, we who are attuned to our spiritual higher guidance, who are connecting to our soul, to our higher selves, who are in this ascension process, we are going to continue on that timeline of Mother Gaia ascending into the fifth dimension. And some of us are already there. Some of us are in the process. I feel I am right now in the process. I feel I've jumped. I'm not there yet, but hopefully I will be. And so you have to know that now in May, I feel in May, there's a huge opportunity because Mother Gaia is ascending. I know she is ascending. She's made it. We've reached critical mass. The ascension is happening. Okay, there was a time a few months back where I was like, is it going to happen? Are we going to stay in 3D, or are we really going to be able to go up and into that ascension matrix, into that paradise that we're supposed to be living in? And yes, we are. So all you have to do to be part of this ascension process, especially now in May, use the energies of the seasons that are just changing. Okay, the spring energies are still here. You see these little new beautiful leaves everywhere. There's fresh green flowers. For those in the south, in Australia, our friends down south, the seasons changing from summer to autumn. I think I mentioned this maybe in my last video. We are still in that energy of transformation, and so this energy is so strong, so intense, of growth, of transformation, of maturing, that Mother Gaia is really making a jump up. It's a jump, and we can jump with her. And it's easy. You don't have to know a lot. You don't have to be super spiritual. All you have to do is just open your heart. Do something every day. Make small choices every day that raise your vibration, that bring you closer to your true self, that bring you healing, that bring you joy. I think you've done a lot of purging. Is that true? You've done a lot of purging. I feel my days of purging, the worst of it is behind me. And of course, there's still more to go, but I feel the worst of it is over. The heaviest part of it is over for me. Now, I feel that in May, we still have a huge opportunity to really do that last purging, the big part of the purging for a lot of us. I just feel the energies are there, but the jump to a higher vibration, like if you've been here, we've been purging in May, I think it's like boom, it's boom. And Mother Gaia is making that jump right now, that leap right now. And all the things that I experience are always way signs. They are signs that they are telling me what is happening on a grander scale, because that is my intention, because I want to be a way shower. I want to help you understand what's going on. So why don't you just decide? Why don't you just decide? No matter what situation you're in, if you're in the worst situation, say, okay, this is my 3D. This is how I'm experiencing life right now. But I have the possibility to jump into a higher dimension, into a higher density, into a higher vibration, exactly where I am, and start to experience my reality differently. And you don't even have to move. You don't even have to, for the ascension process, you don't have to totally change your whole situation. And if you say, no, but I'm living in a country where there's war, I have a job that is bringing me down, I have all these things that are happening, I'm with people, it's impossible. If you say it's impossible, it's not. It seems impossible because you are still in the third dimensional place where everything seems totally stuck and negative. But you can stay physically where you are and move up, and for you, the reality will change. The reality will change. Maybe your neighbor or even your brother or your sister will still experience that lower vibration, but you don't have to. You don't have to. It is possible. I've seen it, I've felt it, and I'm living that example myself right now. I'm living that. I'm living it. So May is a beautiful opportunity for you to visualize your future timeline, the 5D that we're going up to. Meditate on it. Ask Mother Earth, ask Mother Gaia, how can I ascend with you? Okay, how can I ascend with you? And it's very, very easy. And I feel it's very important in May right now to go out into nature, connect with our beautiful Mother Earth, and understand and feel the process of ascension, and believe that you can be part of it in your world, wherever you are. Okay? So I feel you can have hope. You can be super positive about the times that we're moving into, especially now in May. I think there's a huge opportunity for every single soul who sets their intention. You have to set your intention. You have to open yourself to it. And then you can jump onto a higher timeline. You can raise your vibration and get yourself out of the muck that you're in. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. So that is basically what wanted to come through about the timelines, about the vibration, about us living in the same physical space, but being able to experience different realities. And something else that I've kind of seen, that I'm seeing again, is as we go further, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, as the generations change, there will be a real split. There will be a physical split at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen, but there will be a physical split of the timelines. That means when, the generations change. That means when we live out our lives and we go up and we come back down again for our next incarnation, the earth will be different. The 5D reality timeline will have stabilized, and it will be split off from the 3D timeline. So like they're going more and more apart. And where do you want to be when you come back? You want to be in the 3D or you want to be in the 5D? I want to be in the 5D. I do. So do your work now and don't give up. Just keep going and know in your heart that that beautiful paradise matrix that I talked about in my last video, that beautiful heaven on earth, the 5-dimensional reality of Mother Earth is happening. It's accessible. And that is the future if you want it to be. That is your future. And I'm talking about future lives, because this is not our last life. We're like right in the middle of the ascension process. We have lived many lives here, and we are gonna live a lot more. And I feel that already our next lifetime, if you're watching this with me, you're in my next lifetime. I'm all about lifetimes. I'm all about the soul as in a broader perspective, seeing past and future lives. I'm sure that your and my next life is going to be in 5D. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be different. And a lot of the bad stuff that's happening in 3D will not exist there. It's going to be in 3D. And at some point, the 3D life timeline is going to dissipate. I don't think it's going to continue. I think Mother Gaia wants her timeline to be the 5th dimensional one from now on, with a slow, of course, it takes a little time, right? It takes time. But that 3D timeline with the incarnational cycles of lower vibrational beings, especially the very negative soul groups, at some point it's going to dissipate. It's going to dissipate. And at some point, I don't know when, maybe 100, 200, 300 years, those souls who have not ascended are just not going to be a vibrational match to this beautiful planet anymore, because the lower timeline will not exist. So they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. They're going to have to go incarnate somewhere else. Okay? So isn't that a beautiful vision for the future of our mother planet? Isn't it beautiful? I see it. I see these timelines splitting. It's kind of like the earth, we are here and the earth is like whoop, like wing, kind of splitting in two, and the timelines are moving apart. And in a few hundred years, this timeline is going to dissipate and we're going to be in the fifth dimension. We're going to be living with no negative soul groups. We're going to be living paradise on earth. That's what I truly believe. And it's starting now. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. That was my message for you for May. I love you all, and I'm working on the next video, which will be all about the Pleiadian starseed origin. Everything you want to know about the Pleiadians, the Pleiades, not stuff rehashed from the internet. This is stuff that I am channeling, that because I'm a Pleiadian starseed. I've said that many times. You know that by now. So I've been compiling information to tell you new things that have never been told before on the internet about us Pleiadians, and you perhaps as well. Okay, so stay tuned for that video. So make sure to subscribe if you've made it so far. Subscribe so you don't miss it. It's gonna be fabulous. Okay, love you guys. Ciao for now.